The Assembly will now hear an address by His Excellency Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, O God, hasten the arrival of your beloved chosen, and grant him good health and victory, and make us his followers and those who attest to his rightfulness. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this meeting is vitally important and the main foundation of all other issues. Regulating sound social relations, establishing order, justice, freedom, peace, and sustainable security, prosperity, and public welfare, and securing the rights of the public are dependent upon the absolute rule of law, and its various aspects needs to be into consideration. 1. Lawmaking is a sacred task, and God, who is the most righteous and the wisest, is a lawmaker himself. The nature of law should be just and based on wisdom. Law should be all-inclusive, embracing various aspects and legitimate interests of all, and an effective tool to contain lawbreakers. By considering all aspects, law should secure and protect liberty, dignity, and basic rights of people, regulate and facilitate activities, and support society's development. It must be transparent and updated, and not subject to arbitrary interpretation. 2. Legislators should genuinely represent people, and only support those decisions which fall within the actual will of people in a free, equal, and just manner. 3. Law enforcing authorities must be conscious, trustworthy, efficient, fair, dedicated, self-motivated, impartial, and defenders of the rights of the general public. Best laws could not deliver desired results if they are not implemented correctly or manipulated by corrupted elements. 4. Law should be enforced correctly and fairly, and of course based on knowledge and prudence. 5. Law needs to be enacted in a way that people see it fair and in line with their interests and those of their society. They must believe it in order to contribute constructively to its implementation. And law enforcement officials should also be acceptable. 6. Laws that breed discrimination among people and nations receive neither recognition or legitimacy. Law must be implemented with equal rights and obligations for all. Discriminatory privilege of the veto right enjoyed by some members of the Security Council lacks legitimacy, and that is why the Security Council has failed to establish justice and ensure sustainable peace and security in the world. We have witnessed that some members of the Security Council with veto rights have chosen silence with regard to the nuclear warheads of a fake regime, while at the same time they impede scientific progress of other nations. They themselves wrongly invoke the UN Charter and misuse freedom of speech to justify their silence towards offending the sanctities of human community and to divine prophets. They support these offenders, infringe upon others' freedom, and allow sacrilege to people's beliefs and sanctities, whilst they criminalize posing questions or investigating into a historical issue and put to jail the researchers. 7. In the name of freedom and maintaining the international security, they violate the basic rights and freedoms of other nations while imposing their own will on them. 8. Legislatures and law enforcement officials should not be influenced or dominated by particular parties, groups, or centers of powers. Mr. Chairman, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the following proposals for a better and more effective rule of law in international relations. 1. The General Assembly, as the highest organ of the United Nations, must restore its real position as a manifestation of the universal joint governance of the world by its immediate revitalization. 2. Measures must be taken to completely reform and change the rules and regulations governing the Security Council, both in terms of its powers and its structures, in favor of nations with due regard to justice. 3. The modern principles of justice and fairness must be preserved in lawmaking and its implementation. 4. The international community must unanimously hold occupiers accountable and make efforts to return the occupied territories to their rightful owners, and rights of those nations be restored. 5. The principles of prohibition of use or threat of use of force in international relations, as well as the peaceful settlement of disputes, must become the basis of the rule of law at the international level. 6. The principle of equal sovereignty of all states must be respected. All states must enjoy equal opportunity to participate in the governance of the world, norm setting and decision making at the international level. 7. All states should adhere to the international obligations under international treaties and international law in a unified manner. 8. States are urged to refuse to yield to the imposition of laws by bullying countries. 9. The legitimate and legal rights of states and nations must be respected. 10. Divine prophets and heavenly religions, which are the common heritage of mankind, should be respected by the law in all societies, so that the conflicts leading to hatred, war, and hostility between human beings would be avoided, leading to peace and integration among them. On behalf of the people of Iran, I would like to voice my readiness to cooperate in fulfilling these objectives, and I hope with concerted efforts of all, we will witness the prevalence of just laws emanating from the free and equal will of nations, as well as ensuring peace and sustainable security in the world. Without a doubt, the realization of such wishes will clear the ground for the establishment of justice in the world under the rule of the righteous and the ultimate savior of mankind, Imam al-Mahdi. I thank you all.
I thank the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran